Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today for our webinar titled How to Master Qubits, Traffic Insights, and Reporting. Just a quick introduction. Again, my name is Christian. I'm on the marketing team, been at Qubit about just over 6 years now. I'm originally from the US, from the Philadelphia area, and I'm based in our Copenhagen office. Kind of as you can see on the screen there, I'm working in product marketing, so part of that is explaining our new features and functionality, making sure that all Qubit customers are making the most out of the product, and making sure that you're successful on your most business critical days.
Yeah, and my name is Lotte. I'm part of the product management team here at Qubit. I've been here for a bit more than 2 years now, and unlike Christian, I'm born and raised in Denmark, but I have lived in the US. But yeah, born and raised in Denmark and living in Copenhagen.
Great, thanks, Lotte. So just a quick rundown of what we'll be discussing today. So first, we'll start off with sort of a high-level overview of the benefits that you can achieve through Qubit's insights and reporting functionality. Then a brief sort of rundown of a refresher of the suite of tools that, there's many different tools that make up the product. So a quick overview of that. We'll then have a quick video demo of insights and reporting in action. We always feel like it's helpful to see it visually used. Of course, there's many different ways that you could use it, but just to give a little bit of a sense and add some color to, for example, what home office will speak to. And then finally, we've left aside about 10 minutes at the end for a Q&A to answer any of your questions. Lotte, do you want to get started off?
Yes, absolutely. So to introduce the insights and reporting tool, I want to say that the team working on the tool, obviously one of the key things that we are working against is giving you guys, the customers, full visibility into the traffic that's hitting you. There's a lot of tools in the toolbox of insights and reporting, but overall, we're all about making sure that you get to see what's happening, that you understand why anything that happens does happen. And thirdly, of course, that you get the information that you need to make informed business decisions. So that's what it's all about. Now, onto some of the exact benefits here. Obviously, I'm the product manager of this tool, so there are many, many things that I like about it, but I want to highlight just 3 key benefits. One of the things is that you get to really stay informed. So key metrics, you get them, they're shown in real time, and it's on a minute-by-minute basis. You also get to see trends over time. Again, that level of information is something that we know is valued. You get to, if you need to, dig into visitor details in case you want to just know a little bit more about who's actually in your waiting room. You also get to, if you need to, you can actually drill into one single request and get some details on that also real time. Now, this, of course, is also mostly catering to the person who's doing the monitoring and for that person to stay informed and in control. But we also know that there's a lot of stakeholders out there who want to stay informed. So we also have a few sharing opportunities. In fact, you can share a monitor screen, you can share some reports, stuff like that. But all of this is, of course, to stay informed. And then finally, there's this immediate adjustment making that we allow you to do. So definitely, I'd say one of the benefits, stay informed and in control. The other thing is about understanding the unexpected. Later on, as Christian said, we're going to do a short demo, or at least show an example of what that looks like. But sometimes customers see sudden spikes in traffic, you get to understand why that happens. You get to troubleshoot if you see any unexpected issues with your waiting room. We even allow for customers to get alerts, so where we kind of use our expertise. So we alert customers on the platform if we see anything, could be good bots in waiting room or data center traffic, anything like that. So again, definitely understand the unexpected is another of the key benefits, I would say. And then finally, is this whole thing about optimizing your peak event process. I mean, the tools in the insights and reporting toolbox allows you to look back in time. It basically allows you to do this post-sale audit to understand what was successful and what wasn't, so you can use that next time around. Just a few examples on what this could look like is, well, you get to, for instance, understand how to set the best outflow. You get to understand what tactics are working in terms of bots and abuse. you also get to see, for specifically invite-only events, how or who actually showed up, how many of your loyal customers ended up showing up, who got blocked from showing up, and also, of course, well, out of those who were invited, who didn't show up. So all of that stuff gets you information that kind of helps you plan for your upcoming events. So I think definitely that were 3 benefits. But final thing that I have to say, Christian, you know this.
It's all good stuff. So
I keep going on and on about this. I mean, I have a commercial background, and one of my absolute favorite things, I have to just highlight this, is that it's real-time data and it's high-quality server-side analytics. Unlike a lot of other tools out there, you really get to drill into the minute-by-minute basis, even, as I said, down to the second. But in addition to that, the whole server-side analytics thing it's accurate. The data that we offer is accurate, and not just trends. And I know, Christian, we share that excitement.
Yeah,
on that, right?
Yeah. I know. I actually, just for our own marketing team, had to dig into numbers for getting Qt set up on our own website, and I think the best I could see in Google Analytics was the max number of visitors in an entire hour. Right, historically, beyond the last 30 minutes. And I know the home office will speak to some of these aspects as well in their video a little bit later in the presentation. And again, these are sentiments that Lotte just mentioned. These are sentiments we hear time and time again from our customers. For example, Dennis here, New Hampshire State CIO, highlighting how the instrumentation gave him that ability to stay informed and in control, right? Described himself as the guy with the finger on the button. And in sort of a different industry, at London School of Economics and Political Science, I think here shows how they were able to stay informed and in control in ways that were not previously possible, right? So imagine this also taps into, as Lotte mentioned, the ability to optimize their peak event process. In this case, this was for them, it was course enrollment, but really it unlocked new communication paths and kept all the departments informed, made sure that they were able to answer any student queries. And basically can help, you can imagine how much this helped add to their communications plan. And that stemmed from sort of that ability to stay in control and informed through the insights and reporting functionality. Yeah. And we ran a survey last year of our customers. 71 of you responded, so thank you for that. 58% said that you saw increased insight into traffic. Now, an additional 33% said the insight into genuine and malicious traffic stayed about the same as before Qt. So hopefully, after today's webinar, you're able to see how you can actually have some of those increases that LSE and the state government of New Hampshire we just spoke to, and as you'll see, the UK's Home Office, Passport Office as well. And 73% reported lower stress with Qt, and in part that's due to being informed and in control of traffic on those most critical days. So that was a sort of setting the scene reminder of sort of what you're able to achieve with the tool. And now we just want to go through and have a quick run through of the actual kind of concrete tools that we have in our toolkit when it comes to reporting, insights and reporting. So the first, I think this is one that everyone on the call will be familiar with. We call it kind of central command during high demand, right? This is often the screen that everyone is watching. You get those key real-time metrics like traffic inflow, outflow, get to know when the queue kicked in, what the average wait time is, how many people are waiting. You can adjust traffic flow up and down on the fly based on how the systems are performing. And you can keep live updates, send live updates to customers in your waiting room to keep them informed as well. Do that all right from this monitoring overview.
Yeah, and back to one of the points that I made earlier on, that's of course you have all that you need while you're doing the monitoring, but we also allow through this the statistics tool, we have some graphs so you can look back at historical data. Again, you can customize exactly what metrics you want to look at. You can select any time frame you want in order for just to kind of understand the trends. So super beneficial as well. In addition to that, the information that we have here, you can extract into various formats, CSV, JSON, XML. There's a bunch of different formats, but you can also use our API tool to inject this data into any preferred tool that you guys might be using.
Great. And then we're shifting a little bit into there's a suite of dashboard views of what we call traffic insights. It's its own menu tab on the left-hand side in the Go platform. The first of which is sort of the highlights dashboard. So this is the high-level waiting room health check, basically. You get to detect data center traffic, social media crawlers, other unusual actors, sort of a quick at-a-glance view of what you'll be able to dig into deeper in some of the following dashboards.
Yeah, and then one of those dashboards that Christian is talking about is this visitor details dashboard. Basically, just allows you to get more details on the guests that are actually in your waiting room. So inflow details: where's the traffic coming from, what device are they using, and what is the traffic source. So yeah, that's the visitor details dashboard.
And then moving on to the Explorer dashboard, this is where you get a holistic overview of all the requests made to your waiting room. So this includes blocked requests, redirected traffic. You can choose from over 30 filters to understand traffic from different angles. And as you see highlighted sort of with the little red box there, you can access detailed logs that let you analyze traffic down to the individual request level. You'll also see this in action in our video demo later in today's webinar.
Right. And then the last dashboard is the bots and abuse dashboard, which basically allows you to identify bots and data center traffic trying to enter your waiting rooms. So in short, you get to understand the unusual traffic that got challenged or blocked. And overall, just gives you some visibility into understanding whether or not your bot tactics are working or not.
That's a great point, Lotte. And there's also another sort of submenu in Insights that's called Alerts. And this is where you're able to get automated threat detection and real-time notifications of unusual traffic behavior as it's occurring. So it's able to uncover aggressive IP addresses in your waiting room, identify unexpected levels of data center traffic, and understand when good bots like the Google crawler are ending up in your waiting room, just to give a couple examples.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of a spoiler alert, because by the end of April, we're also launching a new feature, which is called the summary reports. So we're adding these summary reports to make it even easier to share event performance with stakeholders. So basically, by the click of a button, you now get to generate a pre-made report, which is super easy to understand. And bonus information is that it's mobile friendly.
Yeah, it's really important for commercial
exactly.
leaders, especially.
Right. And so these reports are made to fit the exact event type. So for invite-only waiting rooms, there's a lot of information that's important for that type of event. For instance, you get to see the customer journey on single users. For scheduled waiting rooms or 24/7 peak protection waiting rooms, there's another type of report, again, just covering the key information that's relevant to share with stakeholders, or for you to just like assess the success of the event. Again, it's one click and then you have that summary report. So yeah, we're excited to release that pretty soon.
Nice. And you'll definitely, sort of get a notification in the Go platform and stuff when that's released. Now everyone has access to free insights and reporting, which you can see, has that the central command during high demand, the monitor screen. As you know, you get access as well to traffic insights and customizable graphs, though for a sort of more limited time frame. So Premium does give you a lot more in terms of access to the data, filters for drilling down, proactive alerts, and ways to share insights with stakeholders, including the summary report that Lotte just mentioned, which will be hopefully coming out later by the end of this month. And if you are curious about traffic insights and reporting Premium, you can actually sign up yourself, do a 30-day free trial, I believe, 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Right in the Go platform, or of course, contact your customer success manager as well.
I mean, like Christian said earlier on, there's so many ways to slice and dice the data. So we wanted to give you some super recent example, actually, of how the tool has actually been used in a real life situation with a Danish ticketing company. So we're going to go off to this demo of how insights and reporting was actually used. So the customer was monitoring an event and noticed this relatively big spike in inflow. And of course, they wanted to understand what was causing this spike. So they decided to use one of the insights dashboards. And here they immediately saw that the spike was coming from the United States, which wasn't really their target audience. Also, they noticed on this dashboard here that it was driven by desktop traffic. Right, so far so good. They wanted to dig a little bit deeper, so went to one of the other dashboards here. And again, here we see the spike. Then they wanted to go to the IP addresses just to see if there were any single aggressive IP addresses. But they decided to filter on US traffic since they already had that information. And then they went back to the IP addresses and sorted them against inflow to see which IPs got the most QIDs. Now, here we see a lot of unique IP addresses, but all of them are coming from a few ISPs. So now they went to check the log details to get even more granularity. And they saw here a lot of requests in the same second. Now, drilling into just one request, this is where it became a little bit clearer. The user agent here of this request is headless Chrome, essentially Chrome running without Chrome. So clearly, this was some kind of automated tool. Now, they saw this pattern across multiple IP addresses. And ultimately, this is just an example of how this Danish ticketing company used insights in a real life situation. I know, Christian, you talked to them afterwards, the specific customer, but again, they learned a lot of things. They understood that this traffic from the US was using headless Chrome. It was an automated tool, so it could be something that they could eventually block or challenge particularly if they wanted to, or they could send it off to their security team for further investigation. But yeah, you spoke to them, right?
Yeah, I did, and just to sort of to flag, one of especially the thing about the United States traffic that kind of made them think, this is interesting because this was a ticket booking flow in a Danish theater, so it actually raised some question marks, right? Why is this traffic coming in from the United States? And then, as Lotte mentioned, using the tool to identify, okay, this is even clearly automated traffic from data centers, very suspicious, and can take appropriate action.
Yeah.
Now, in the example that Lotte just walked through, the spike was so quick that the queue didn't trigger. But actually, I spoke to this customer, as Lotte mentioned, last month at a trade show, which is how I knew about this example. And they, in this case, this is from March, they were seeing sort of that ongoing spikes every 2 hours, as you can see here. Now, in those instances, unlike the video we just saw, in this case, the spikes were actually triggering the queue. So here you can see this is a graph using the statistics module of showing the number of visitors waiting in queue. And again, you can see that happens basically at the same time that those spikes were happening. So there's a potential that there was unnecessary queuing of real ticket buyers that could have a detrimental impact on the user experience, and also, highlights the value of having the insight into the problem and the information needed to address the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if we sort of highlight, again, package that specific case with the framework that we've been using throughout this presentation. So in this case, the organization was able to cover sudden spike in traffic above the capacity levels, right? We could maybe assume that spike could have potentially crashed the website or caused some errors. So that didn't happen. But they were also able to use the minute-by-minute inflow data to identify that suspicious traffic pattern, right? That this kind of more or less stable flat line and then a sudden spike in 1 minute. Moving on to understanding the unexpected, right? Then as Lotte highlighted, they used visitor details and the Explorer dashboard to understand that it was suspicious traffic, right? Desktop traffic from US data centers. They're a ticketing sort of company located selling tickets for things physically taking place in Denmark. That's a bit suspicious, right? And also the cyclical nature of every 2 hours, right? And they dove into individualized requests with the log details to confirm it was indeed automated traffic. And in terms of optimizing the peak event process, there was the ability, as Lotte mentioned, to update the bot review strategy, keep out the malicious traffic in the future, however they chose to do that.
Yeah. So, Christian, I think we did it. We took you guys through what insights and reporting tool, what's in that toolbox, basically. But just to, again, wrap it up. So stay informed and in control. There's a lot of tools in that toolbox that allows you to do that. You get to understand the unexpected. You can use this data because there's a lot of historical data as well to optimize your peak event process overall. And again, if you're interested to see the fully fledged tools, you can sign up for this trial that we allow for 30 days. And you could do that right now, in fact, if you just go to the GoQueued platform. It's free. You can try it out for 30 days. So,
yeah. then, of course, they can always reach out to their friendly customer success manager if you are interested in giving the tool a test. So that was all the content that we've had prepared for today. So now we'd like to move forward with our Q&A section of the webinar. Happy to help answer any questions that you might have had during the presentation. All right. Great. Thanks, everyone. We've just had a quick change of scenery to our Q&A room here.
Yes, pumped to answer all your questions. So fire away.
So another plug, please enter any questions you have in the Q&A toolbar that you'll see at the bottom of your Zoom view. We already have some questions in, so we can start with that. But if you've been sitting there, have a question, please put it in. Now's your chance. But the first one, we can go straight into it. When should I use the summary report versus graphs versus data from monitor screen when sharing with my stakeholders? How do you look at that, Lotte?
Yeah, I think the monitor screen is catering for the during, like when it's actually happening right here, right now situation. Also, I guess not really showing any nice visualization that covers the journey. It's metrics, and you kind of need to be a little bit familiar with how to interpret those numbers. So that's right here and right now. The graphs, part of the statistics tool, are that's for if you want to like look back over a longer period of time, you want to discover trends, you want to customize something more in the situation where you're actually searching for something or trying to find some trends. The summary reports, I would say, is the easiest tool that we have if you want to just share a quick overview of what happened. It's super easy to share. It's nice visualized. Everyone can understand what's in those reports. So,
okay,
yeah, I think, yeah.
Nice. And actually maybe tying to that, is there ability to customize what's in the summary report?
Currently, no. I mean, we're just releasing this feature, right? So we want to see how is it being received? What are the feedback or what is the feedback that we're going to get? And then we'll iterate from there. So that's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Now, let's see. Taking another one here. There's a question about the data center list. That was shown in the demo there, how you did the filtering on the US data centers. How is it created, and can this person ask if they can add to it?
So the data center list is a list that we have from a third party. So it's like an official list. We cannot edit it ourselves at this point, at least. Similar, that's the situation also for, we have some good bot detection. That's also from a third party, that one. However, we can add to. So if you guys see anything out there that you feel like is should be added to the good bot list, we can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We just got another question in here. What's the recommended outflow percentage for 100 inflow as an example?
Yeah, that's it's always a good question. It's so contextual what the outflow rate should be. So there's no like common rule that I would recommend. It's something that our amazing technical engineering team can help you guys with. And there's, again, depending on how your systems, what they can handle, they're gonna give some recommendations there. So I'd rather not.
I can maybe add two cents from what I know. I'm not, I've worked with some of our technical engagement managers. A couple of things. One, as Lotte mentioned, it is very context dependent based on especially the time of the user journey. So how much time the person spends on the site. We typically use something called Little's Law, which is able to see what the throughput through a system should be, in part based on how long the user journey is. So that's a key piece of information. And typically, I know a standard recommendation, especially if it's the first time using Qt or early on, is to start at 50% of what you know that you can handle, and then gradually work up from there.
Okay.
So that is kind of a rule of thumb. Again, please consult our technical experts or customer success manager with that. But typically, what I've heard is 50%. Rather be conservative at the start and speed up than the opposite. Absolutely. A great question. Thank you for that. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? There's a question about, is Qt reporting data GDPR compliant?
Yes, we are. So 100% GDPR compliant from just within what we're talking about now. I think the closest thing that we have to anything that you might wonder about is IP addresses. we have no way of relating an IP address to any email, any personal information whatsoever. And we store it, but then we also delete it after 400 days. So definitely lives up to GDPR standards.
Yeah, and I think there is, as you mentioned, it's, maybe if you want to take it in a case by case basis, there's an email, right? There's a flow if you want to really dive in and have some detailed questions with our security team.
Yeah.
And it's security@qit.com. Okay, we can maybe write it in the chat as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to them, or bring it up with your customer success manager too, and they can get that sorted.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any last questions here? I think we've covered everything that you have put in, and thank you for being here and using your time to participate in the webinar, and for being for those of you who are a valued QIT customer. I think that wraps up everything based on what I can see. So hopefully today was valuable. I hope that 33% who were in the survey, or who's saying the insights stayed about the same. Hopefully this has given them some food for thought into ways that you can use QIT to get additional insight into both genuine and suspicious traffic. And Lotte, thank you for taking the time to walk us through the presentation today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Anytime. Well, wherever you are in the world, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for using the time to join.
Thanks for joining.